So everyone must have seen the movie Chak the India. What if I told you there is a Netherlands coach which went to India and coached Indian women hockey team, which did not win a single match in Rio Olympics 2016 and ranked up fourth in Tokyo 2020. Hello everyone. So everyone must have seen the movie Chak the India. What if I told you there is a Netherlands coach which went to India and coached Indian women hockey team, which did not win a single match in Rio Olympics 2016 and ranked fourth in Tokyo 2020. It's none other than Sjoerd Marijne. Hi Sjoerd, welcome to Staying Indian, the NRI podcast.
Thank you very much for your invite.
Starting with, how did you ended up in India and, coaching Indian women's hockey team?
I was coaching the Dutch women 2014-2015, and after that we split and I worked 2 months in China, and then I've been approached by Roland Oltmans, the previous coach from the Indian men's team, if I was interested in the job for taking over the Indian women after the Olympics 2016 in Rio. And I thought the team was very good in the under-21s World Cup. My friend Raul Era, currently the coach from the Dutch women, he played against the under-21 women's, and they did really, really well. They became fourth, I think, at that tournament in Germany. And then I knew, okay, talent is coming, and this will be a very nice challenge. They are now currently number 13 of the world. I've been coaching the number 1 of the world. So how nice it would be to bring them to the top 4 of the world and changing the mindsets of the girls. So I came in 2017 to India and started working with the girls in February, I believe. Yes.
So it's a real life Chak the India story. It's a journey of triumph and transformation. It's a cultural clash. You being in Netherlands, born and brought up here, and then moving to India. A different kind of experience for you, changing the mindset, as you said, making a mindset of a champion. So it has all the ingredients of a Bollywood masala movie, I would say.
Yeah. Many say to me, this is Chak Day India too. So if somebody is interested to produce, please contact me. I've also saw the movie, and a lot of lessons can be taken out of the process we have been going through with all the ups and downs, because at the end everybody remembers the ups, but there were many also downs, setbacks. I think we lost more than we won in the 4.5 years, but that's part of the process. And every time you have to, as a coach, as a leader, you have to give them energy and giving the good example. And it was not always easy, but at the end, it was very important to do that, because girls are trusting on you.
We'll cover all those ups and downs in this podcast in next 30 minutes. But we start with you, Sjoerd. How was your life growing up here? How, you became passionate about hockey? You also played yourself. So tell us briefly about your history.
My history is I've been playing at the highest level in the Netherlands. We won 2 national titles, 1 European Cup, and I've been very lucky to play with very good players like Jeroen Delmee, currently the coach from the Dutch men, playing with Ronald Jansen, these kind of players, the goalkeeper. They all won 2 times Olympic gold, and in that period I played with the club. I was not good enough for the national team, but good enough for highest level, so that was really nice. And after my career as a player, I started to coach, and I did it already during my career. I coached a lot of teams in the Dutch Hoofdklasse, which is the highest league, men's team from Amsterdam, Den Bosch, Eindhoven. And slowly I started also becoming international coach, helping Maurits Hendricks 2008 Olympics with the Spanish men, where we won silver medal. And slowly developing more the insights on the international hockey. Till that moment, I also became coach of the Dutch women, best team in the world. And from there on, I moved on to India.
To India, it must be a 360-degree cultural shift. What were some of the shocking things in your early days when you moved to India?
Yeah, a lot of things, of course. What you're saying, the differences are so big. Some Indians told me, so that's their words. India is from another planet. It's completely different than where I am from. We are not used that players are 24/7 with the team. We play competition. They go to school. They get their diplomas. These things are also important. And when I became the national coach, it was also 24/7, 365 days. They were with me, but the cultural difference of the caste, a big issue a big problem for me was the language. Not many girls spoke English.
Name please.
Huh?
वो हो क्या नाम पूछ रहा हूँ मैं नाम.
A few of them did. They translated. I had one Indian coach who also translated, but I never knew what they translated. And I trust them, so it's not about that. But it was very difficult to have conversations with my players. And of course, you can explain about tactics, that's one thing, but you need to understand your players. You need to know what's driven them, what are their goals, what is the team goal, what are our values, all these kind of things. And it was very difficult in the beginning with all the other things. But yeah.
Kind of very difficult if you can't even have a conversation and you can't understand the mindset of each and every individual in the team. It's really a kind of added challenge in terms of coaching the team and making them win. And that's why I think this journey of yours is very kind of inspiring. And you've also moved to kind of leadership coaching now. And you can take a lot of pals from leadership and sports, right?
I think as a leader, as a inside the sports world, outside the sports world, that is very important. For me, a big rule is always get to know your people. Who are they really? And what are their soft skills? Who are they as a person? And not only for me as an athlete. For corporate, it's very easy to identify the hard skills of a person. What are diplomas, these kind of things, their work experience. But for me, it's even more important, what are their soft skills? What are their character skills, their personality? What are they good at? We have always been busy with the girls. What can they do good? And to improve that point, instead of what are they not good at, and only be busy with improving that one. It's always it gives more energy, it gives more fun to be busy with the things you are good at. I use a personality test, profiling, and the talent test. What we use is to identify their soft skills, and I'm still doing it in corporate world. Understanding the people with which you are working with, for me the players, is so important with decision making inside the pitch when they need to take decisions, but also to allow them to use their skills they're good at. So I had one player, she was very good in the tactics. Not many players had that. She was really interested, but that is some specialty with her. After the talent test, I knew this. So on that way, I really involved her in the tactics. And one moment when we played against Australia, she said, "Coach, I think we need to go to the other system." She speak up. That's the first thing. And the second thing, she takes responsibility. But she also understood. But that came also because I knew this is one of her qualities. And that's with more girls which likes to take leadership, take responsibility. So these girls love that. Some people don't like it. And if you keep pushing them in those roles, they will not be happy. You get burnouts, these kind of things.
That's why, you need to identify your strengths and weaknesses, and being a coach, you need to identify the strengths and weaknesses of every individual and place them in right places. In the leadership skill, you place them to them along, right? But also mentioned in non-sporting culture, how did you ended up transforming that kind of a mindset into a high performance team?
Yeah, the thing is, when I arrived, the girls didn't have a lot of confidence. I asked them, okay, what is your big goal? And they didn't have really an answer on that. and they just became 12th from the 12 teams at the Rio Olympics. They played only one draw against Japan. But then not much confidence. They felt like, okay, nobody's watching us. Everything is about the men. So I said to them, why don't we try to change the position of the woman? Medal at the Olympics is a way to do it. So then you really go for big goals. And I believe in dream goals. On that way, they start believing, okay, we can do it. And because I was lucky that I was coached from the Dutch women's team, they felt like, okay, if he's saying it, he was coaching the best team in the world, we will believe it. And on that way, we start transforming everything. But we never spoke out in the press of these kind of things, that we wanted to have tournaments in India or bigger budget or these kind of things. And I must say the budget was always very good. Sai did that really well, also with Hockey India. It's about showing. And that's what I told to the girls. You have to show it on the pitch. That's the only thing what works. And on that way, we changed the way of thinking of really achieving goals and making the goals also very small. So if you keep that dreaming every day about a medal, you make yourself crazy. What is necessary today to be the best of myself, the best version of yourself? And when I'm the best version of myself, I will help my team to become a better team. And on that way, we work day to day. And every time I took them in the process. Okay, where were we? Where are we now? And what do we want to go? Which steps need to be made? That is very important for leaders in corporate world. Take them with the process, because as a coach, as a leader, you know where you want to go. But many times they forget to share with their employers, with the company.
Reminds me, Serena Williams once said that sports has a powerful platform and it challenges stereotypes and empowers women. Gives them courage to transform the society. So I think it's the message as well in your transformation story. But so what was all these practical small changes in the lifestyle and the coaching method that you had to adapt to as per the Indian culture as well?
Yeah, like everybody is very focused on themselves. They have individual goals, and I'm fine with that because it's normal. Everybody at the end is doing things for themselves. But to reach your individual goal, you have to focus on the team goal. And if you do it the other way around, focusing on your individual goal and then the team goal, you will never reach your individual goal. And I think that is an important lesson we have learned, the girls. Focusing on the team goal, your individual goal will also happen. One of the examples, we had a striker who was focused on scoring. And that's normal, that's good for a striker. You cannot score from impossible angles. So you need to then pass the ball to someone else who's in a better position. And I can understand that, because if you score, you become a better player. Maybe you become captain. A lot of things happening also on the financial side. And where all the girls are coming from, it's really poverty. So I can understand. But what happened, I learned this striker, listen, give energy to the team, give the right example. She was outstanding in running, put good pressure on the opponent. When we have the ball, be in a good position in the circle and focus on the team goal. At the end, what happened is that she became top scorer for India. So you can figure it out yourself who it is. But that was very important that the team has learned, and also the players individual. I need to focus on the team goal and then I will reach my individual goal. And that's a small thing what we have changed. But the other thing is with the culture, a lot of girls were always on the same rooms. But if we want to become a team, they get to know each other. And one of the things we did is every camp we changed rooms. I want them to really, it doesn't matter if you're from the east, the west, the south, or the north, we're all from India. And we all are proud of the flag and we all work for that. And that's why they need each other. And that is something what they have learned. I need someone else to reach the individual goal.
Reminds me of the very kind of inspiring scene from the movie Chak De India again, because it says that I do not hear the name of the states or other organizations that you play for, but I just hear India. So I think that is very important to come together and understand that the level that you're going to play is representing 140 crore Indians. So yeah, but like in the movie, coming from outside, let's say the coach Kabir Khan in the movie faced the skepticism and challenges. Did you face, coming from Netherlands to India, did you face such kind of challenges as well?
Yeah, many. One of the challenges was, of course, in Netherlands, girls really speak up. And if they have their opinions, and they will say, You can say that's good, that's not good, but at least they let you know what they think about what we are training, what the tactics are. So you're really involving them. In India, you see a lot of respect, the same in Netherlands, of course, but a lot of respect. And sometimes when you have too much respect, then it works against you also inside the pitch. So there was a lot of respect for me. And listen, coach, we're going to do the way you want us to do. So the wall behind me is white, but if I would tell the girls, listen, this wall is black, then they will say, yes, sir. Sometimes it's good, they're listening, but I like that there's ownership. As a coach, you're on the sideline. You don't play inside the lines. So they need to do it. It's the same with the CEO. You can't do all your work yourself. As manager, you can't do all your work. Someone else, the players need to take their ownership. And that's the same what I wanted in the team. But that was a very big challenge because the girls were always afraid in the beginning that they will get dropped if they give their opinion. So they will always say yes, 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 yes. But that's not what I wanted to hear. I wanted to hear what they really thought. And that's a process what had took months to really get the confidence from them. But so that is one of the many challenges, of course. And you also have to understand the difference in India and Netherlands is family is very big in India and also in Netherlands, of course. But for me, missing my family was a very big thing. I was 6 weeks away from home and 2 weeks at home. And I feel, and what I've experienced in India, this is more normal. Your parents, the grandparents taking care of the children. That's not the way it goes in Netherlands. But as a coach, you always have to give the right example, what I already said.
I think we have very strong emotions when it comes to our country, India as well. Do you feel that is also a bit different, Netherlands?
Yeah, absolutely. We have that not so much. We like the orange color. When the Dutch soccer team plays, where everybody has a party, and then we feel proud to have the orange. But the flag is really in the heart of the Indian people. This is what I experience also, and that's different than in my country. We are proud, but less as the Indians, and this is also for me was really important to know two things important for the team values. That's family, and the second thing was the flag, the country.
I think that's Naval is also about. We are a bunch of Indians living outside of India. There are a lot though. We come together on this channel and discuss how relatable or how different our lives have been. But coming back to Indian women, historically struggle to get recognition for sports and Indian women in general. And motivation of these are to get either government jobs or some kind of grants or some kind of positions. So how do you use that kind of a mentality and focus on Let's Go 2020?
Yeah, I experienced, especially in the beginning, they were really, really good in camps. I thought like, okay, I picked the best team. We went to a tournament and I didn't saw so much back from the quality I saw in the camp. And I thought like, okay, what's going on? Then I saw and I've heard about that their girls were really focused on getting to a tournament, being selected because you get daily allowance, 50 US at that time. That has changed. But if you go 14 days away, it's a lot of money. And then the tournament is there like, okay, fine, we're just doing it. We're just India, so we will not win. And then the level drops and then we go to the next camp and the level goes higher. And then I said, listen, I still remember the moment. I said, listen, girls, if you don't show it in tournaments, you will not go anymore on tour. It's nicer showing it in camps, but for me, it's about being proud for India and having confidence that we can win things. So you need to show it in the tours. And then that mentality changed.
If one field in Tokyo Olympics and India finished fourth, Indian women's finished fourth. Take us through what was like day one in Tokyo and then motions going on with the team and how they kind of wins and the losses.
Yeah, we had challenges because we had the corona, and of course, India was the only country what was not allowed to train. And you have to imagine We only had trained in camp. The other countries played international matches. We arrived at Tokyo, and at that moment we wanted to play against Argentina. But then we heard from the Olympic Committee that we were not allowed to train. We had to stay inside the Olympic Village for players, and we were not allowed to go outside. A very strange decision, of course, because all we were allowed to having food in the food hall where all the other countries were. But we had 4 days to prepare for the first match against the Netherlands, and then we played another practice match, and the other coach says, no, I'm not playing a whole match. I'm just playing a shorter match because we don't want to have injuries. So that was all in our preparation. And I knew at the Olympics we start playing against the best team, then the second best, then third best. So I knew in the beginning it would be very difficult. And we trained a lot about mentality and working from match to match and dealing with setbacks. We started playing Netherlands. They were just too good. We did really well. And in the tournament, you start working on what can we improve, not about what's going wrong, what can we improve, because you want them to keep confidence. And we worked by match. And then we played Germany, we lost. We played GB, we lost. And after that match GB, I was really disappointed about the level we reached. We didn't improve. So I became a little bit angry on them. And I showed them some clips about mentality and about being in the moment, not being with, we're not going to make it, or we have to win the next match. No, you have to be busy. What can you control, and not about what you can't control. And that is a really important thing in life. And what we can control is playing the match against Ireland and winning that match, because that would give us still a possibility to qualify for the quarters. Now, we won that match last 6 or 8 minutes before time, but we played really well. I think the message was clear. We're not going to be busy with other mental toughness, like maybe we're going to lose this match, we're not going to qualify for after the pool matches. And then we played the last match against South Africa. We won also that match. Wasn't that good, but a lot of tension on that match, and they felt really relieved playing the quarterfinal at the Olympics, and this was the first time it ever happened. But then we played against Australia, and again our focus was in that match, control what you be busy what you can control. You can't control the referee, you cannot control Australia, but what can you control is making leads to get the ball, putting energy in the match, taking the right positions, all these kind of things. And they were really focused on the team goals and their personal goals. And that's what you saw in that match coming back. We had a few PCs against. Some from Monica were taken off the line. We were really well defended. Some people say luck, but I don't believe in that part, because we have trained for 4.5 years to on our defending PC. And at that moment, we didn't train it for nothing, so that was really good. But it's also with the PC attacking. Gujit had one PC, and if you have it about personalities and about what are your talents, she's a thrill seeker. So I knew at that moment she likes to do her drag flick on the most important moment. So I choose her PC. We got one, and she scored one. And at the end, we won that match, of course, with 1-0. But in the whole tournament, it's dealing with setbacks, being mental tough, and okay, what can we do to change when we are not winning? What do we need to improve and to keep the group together? Now, at the end, we played the semi-final against Argentina. I still believe that was a very good match. We 1-0 up, and at the end we lost 2-1. But I must say, we did really well. I don't blame anything to the girls, and that's the same against GB. We play for bronze, and if you see, we were 2-0 behind, and we come back to 3-2. This was our 8th match, and India never plays 8 matches in a tournament, because they will play 4 or 5 matches, and then they don't continue to the final matches, and they came back. So in the beginning, a big issue was the fitness of the girls, and our strength and conditioning coach Wayne Lombard did amazing work with the girls in the 4.5 years, and they really were able to play 8 matches and being even good in the last match. And at the end, the GB was better. Sometimes people ask me, okay, how do you feel not getting bronze? But I think we did something bigger. We didn't win a medal, but we won the hearts from the Indians by showing you can achieve anything in life, but sometimes someone else is better, and that's fine. But we tried, and we gave everything we've got. And I think we made a lot of people very proud.
Indeed, it was really a proud moment for coming so far and so long. But individually, talking about the players, who, from this journey of 8 matches, who do you think the players transformed the most? Who were the kind of exceptions that, had a really change in the mindset.
At the end are the players themselves. They must will. They must be open for this. And then around me, because I didn't do this all by myself. We had a good strength and conditioning coach, Wayne Lombard, and he was always ready for help. Janneke Schopman was my assistant. She was always available. We had the masseur, we had the physiotherapist, a video analyst. Everybody was available for them. But they have to take ownership and they have to take responsibility. And that's what they did. And in the beginning, they didn't do it, but just because they didn't learn that. And that's what the whole staff helped them to take responsibility. But at the end, they took that ownership. And that's also what you want to have in a corporate. Your staff, your employers take ownership in the process.
I was saying, if you have to name a few players that you saw really transform through this journey of 8 matches.
It was not just a few players, it was the whole team. And that was the nice thing. Everybody took their responsibility. Like, I strongly believe in task-driven teams. And that means that you know what your task is. If you have overachievers in your team, I don't think it works. And it means more or less like, stick to your job. Where are you good at? And do that as good as possible. For instance, Sjoerd was our center midfielder, our free defender, and she was really good in defending and she was good in controlling. But if I'm going to ask her, you also have to make actions and winning 1 versus 1 attacking, then I'm going to ask things from her what she can't do. And she was always very good in the control and in the coaching. And coaching was also very important because you make, with a very easy thing, you make other players better. So she was one of the girls which really did really well. But I saw Nea, Navneet, Rani, Navjot, and everyone taking responsibility by wanting to have the ball, coaching others, wanting to improve. All these kind of things. And it's just because they felt good at the Olympics, because they were coached by my whole staff on their strengths.
And it's not about, rigorous coaching, but it's also about having fun times together. And I really like your picture of playing Holi with the team. Tell us about how did you find this experience of playing with colors, and how was the team experience?
Yeah, my first experience was in Bhopal. That was my first training center where I arrived in the middle of nowhere. And then I think I was there 2 or 3 weeks. And then they started throwing colors. I thought, like, what's going on here? And so I started making a game of it and running away and trying to do the same with the girls. But they never experienced that a coach was doing this. So that was quite funny. And I think we had a lot of fun. And from that moment on, I started understanding better about the festivals and the celebrations and all these kind of things. So always we came together with these kind of things. And I really like that because it gives some harmony together.
It's always festival season. But interestingly, you mentioned Bhopal, which is like very near to my hometown, that is Indore. And another kind of close parallel is you and me share our birthday on the same day. That's 20th of April. I was doing some research and I found out that.
Oh, okay, fine.
Sometimes there can be a lot of bureaucracies around, and there is a lot of pressure with Mia and with other committees. How did you handle those kind of things?
I must say, like, I had a high performance director, David John, and he did a lot of the selection process and he managed that very well. I never had issues with the girls, and that worked really well with both selectors. We had a good partnership. With the men, it was different. It was a challenge because there was always someone really high up was involved in this and gave his opinion about players, and that was more difficult. I had it once at the Commonwealth Games. He interfered and he wanted to have a player. It was fine for me, but at the end, I think at that tournament, that player was the missing link. It was his call, but he will not take responsibility for that. That's fine. That is how things are going. My communication with Sai was always good. With Hockey India was very good. Sometimes the processes are very long. It took me a long time, for instance, for a laptop. but that is because the way it goes, I request to Hockey India request to Sai. Sai is someone not always from hockey. I can understand that. And like, okay, why does he need a laptop? He's a hockey coach. But yeah, we need to analyze. That took a little bit longer, but I must say from both sides, I always felt that they want to cooperate with me. And you have to find out how things are working and that you have to be patient. But that was my challenge because I don't have patience. As a Dutch, I'm very direct. And I know that's also the first thing what Elena Norman said, CEO from Hockey India. Listen, everyone, he's from the Netherlands, so he's very direct.
Quite different India. In India, you'll get subtle hints of things and will speak as there is a lot of focus by government on sports being a soft power, and they do realize it, and they are hosting a lot of big events as well. I think have seen that change, because from government as well.
Yeah, like in the beginning, there were not women's tournaments, and if you see now, Hockey India League has been organized for the women's. I'm very happy with that, and it's a big step what they have made. And also online, I gave my compliments about this. Very happy for the girls, but also that they also organize it for the men. Women's are playing more in India. They now play Pro League. I think these are very big steps which they have made. And that takes a lot of effort. It's not easy, and it's easy to blame people or to say this needs to be better and to complain. But I don't think that's on the right place to do that. I'm happy with the efforts they're making now.
So currently involved with a lot of hockey sports academies in India. How contributing right Indian hockey?
Yeah, we are the technical partner from the Naval Tata Hockey Academy in Jamshedpur and in Odisha. And we are guiding them how to get the best out of the players and out of the academies. And that's something we are helping with our knowledge, with our pool of coaches. We hope as much as players to deliver to the national teams.
So author of a book, and you're kind of doing leadership coaching as well. Your book taught mental toughness, willpower. Can you shed some light on your book and how have you kind of coached and influencers of the world?
Yeah, unfortunately, I can't say too much about the book. There have been some lawsuits. For me, it was a way to describe the background story about how we got the success with the girls. Some of the things I've just shared now with you, but it's also about the lessons from sports. How can you implement in corporate world? And I think the metaphor of sports always really works. You have strikers; they want to go to their goal, but you also need players in your team who keeps control. And that's also the same it works in your company. You have defenders in your company, and that's very nice things, and it works really good in corporates on thinking on that way. The book was named Willpower, and the reason is willpower. How much do you really want it? And people say many times they want to achieve things, but they don't accept the consequences. And that's also what I said to the girls. If you want to go to the Olympics, to Tokyo, you want to go for a medal, the consequence is that the fitness has to be higher. You need to deal with feedback. You need to take leadership. You need to take ownership, all these kind of things. But we're not always willing to take the consequences of the goals we are setting. That's why I strongly believe willpower is about the people who are successful are doing what they're saying they're going to do. Who are less successful, they say a lot, but they don't take action.
You touched upon the willpower, the goals, and how corporates are, people who would be achieving the goals, but then you need the team as well. So there would always be a struggle in the entrepreneur's mindset, a CEO's mind, that how do I identify these people? And those sort of things as well.
Yeah, like what I'm doing is consulting and advising board members, CEOs about how to implement this. You have your culture guards, and how are you helping them to get the best out of them and taking responsibility, but always giving the right example. And I think that strategy is exactly the same as it works in the sports. It more or less, they make a talent test and they get a full report about the talents and the personality of their employers. And I can give an inspiration session about that. And from there on, that's a possibility. And from there on, they can start using it inside the company. And I will also explain them how they're going to do it. So on that way, they reached more the potential. And that's what we did with the Indian women's team of their talents.
I think that kind of insight would help them identify the right team to achieve the goals that they are kind of striving for. So it's good.
So more or less, you have your goal. You search for the right people around you, but how do you use them on the right way? And if you use a striker as a defender, it's not working. A striker is a striker and goes to their goal. I'm an attacking person. I don't have patience. And if you ask that from me, I will do, but it will not make me happy. And that's more or less what we identify with the test. What are their soft skills and how to use?
Amazing. That quite makes sense to me. And I can now relate to a lot of people in my team who would like to do different things and who would like to take initiatives. So I think the key is taking action and not just planning and saying things. You need to go out there and, if you really want to achieve small steps lead to bigger achievements. So thanks, Sjoerd, for doing this. It was really nice talking to you. Share any final messages for SC players for in hockey?
No, listen, keep going the way they're going, and the girls and boys are doing very well. And I hope the girls at the end will qualify for the Olympics. That will give a good impact. If people who are listening to the podcast, if you want to know more, they can contact me with the details on LinkedIn or on my socials. I think you will share that, and no problem at all. And happy to share the lessons, what can help also their corporates.
You're very popular in India. I must say that I was going through the comments, and not only girls, but boys are also kind of charmed by your looks. And I read some comments, and it was really inspiring. And your journey, I would say, I was going through some numbers. There is a 30% increase in women's hockey since the Tokyo Olympics. So I think there is a lot of transformation that you have brought. Thanks for everything, Sjoerd, and thanks especially for giving out the time and talking to me.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I enjoyed very much.